Here's something that's a bit outside of boat building, but we use the same techniques. We're making up a platform to go onto the stainless steel frame in a swimming pool for teaching children how to swim, so they've got a nice stable platform. That's the frame in the water. That's what we've ended up with. So that's our template, and from there we're going to take that, trace it out on plywood, 12mm plywood, and cut it out from there. But to get to that point, we use 3 pieces. There's our template sitting on the water. Notice how good a fit we've got on the pipe each end. It's fitted really well, 10 times better than I even expected. And when you put it down, it sits down on our stainless steel now step, and we're laughing. So there it is, all in place underwater. So we've checked our template, happy as hell with what we've got so far. So the next one's to go away and trace it onto some plywood, seal it up with boat coat top and bottom, and away we go, and then glue it to the stainless steel frame. Right, we've now cut out our piece of plywood, and Brian's put the radius on his trusty old trimmer. See this cutter, he tells me he built his yacht with it. When was that, Brian?
1970.
1970. That cutter has been around since 1970. That's how good carbide tip cutters are. No black marks. It's still cutting like a baby. So it's all been trimmed up. We're just hand sanding it now, and she'll be getting a coat of epoxy soon. Part of the reason we put the radius on is, 1, to make it look pretty, 2, and more importantly, there's no sharp edges, so when something drops on it or knocks it, it's a lot harder to damage it, whereas a sharp edge, it damages a lot easier. The other reason, when you're playing with liquids, liquid will pull away, so our epoxy will pull away from a sharp edge, whereas on a radius it'll sit there better, so we end up with a thicker layer. Whereas in sharp edges, the surface tension will allow it to pull away from the edge, and that's where we'll get moisture in, if we get moisture in anyway. So we're going to put a bit of radius on that as well. I've now done 2 coats of boat coat on our swim platform, and tomorrow morning I'm going to take it and fit it, see how it fits on the frame in the water, and then from there we'll scoop everything together and finish it off. The other thing I've done, I've also done the front frame, or the front cover, for the swim platform. 4mm plywood. I sealed the back first, so 3 coats on the back. Now I've done 2 coats on the front. I'll let it dry, then I'll take it and fit it, and I'll bring it back and I'll sand it and do at least 1 more coat on the outside, and that'll be looking pretty Mickey Mouse. So that should be able to handle then full submersion underwater full time. I've finished epoxying. I've sanded, so I started out with 80 grit and took all the high spots off the majority of the gloss. Then I went down to 120 and took all but little spots down your 4mm diameter areas of gloss, and then I went down to 240. I finished that, and now I've scrubbed with a green scour pad and hot soapy water, and I'm about to wash it off. So you just really get stuck into it, and it's the equivalent of 320 wet and dry, and it really cleans the surface. It's important if we're going to use the aqua coat, because what it does for you, it cleans all the oil from your skin. It's hot at present, so we sweat, and the oil that comes out of our skin is enough to stop the aqua coat sticking. So it's important to wash down with hot soapy water before you go any further. That gets rid of any dust, and you've got a nice clean surface to put the aqua coat on. Now I'll hose it off with some fresh water. We're back to our swim platform. I've applied 3 coats of aqua coat now. The first coat I put on straight with 20% water, and then the second coat I mixed our aqua coat non-skid beads in with it, and 20% water, mixed him in, and you can see the leftover there from our third coat. and you mix it all in. So I've put a second coat on with the beads in it. I'll let that dry for a couple of hours, and I'll come back and put a third coat on. Get a load of that. Really good non-slip. It's still wet, but as it dries, that's got very good texture to it. Now I'm just going to round around the edge and put a coat on without the beads, and that'll finish it off, make it look real smart.